Well, the former president's indictment sparking outrage from many Republicans across the country. We want to bring in the Hill's White House columnist Niall Stanage now on the political implications of all of this. Niall, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Good to see you too, Natasha.
Niall, do you think this will ultimately help or hurt Mr. Trump as he campaigns again for president?
In the Republican primary, it will help him at least in the short term. And we're already seeing that in a number of polls. Joe Khalil mentioned one poll from Morning Consult. There's another one from Yahoo YouGov just out today, showing former President Trump expanding his lead over Ron DeSantis, who's his closest rival. Now, that's a snapshot in time right now, where Republican voters are clearly outraged, rightly or wrongly, about these charges being brought. As this train proceeds down the tracks, that could change if there is very compelling evidence against the former president, if he himself brings more chaos into this process, or if a number of other factors could contribute to a fall in his support. Right now, it's helping him.
Okay. And will Republican donors ultimately shy away from backing him and look to support other candidates instead?
The money tends to follow the person who they expect to win, for the most part. So if the former president retains the kinds of leads we're seeing at the moment, double Ron DeSantis' support, for example, I think, honestly, you're going to see donors reconcile themselves to the former president being the Republican nominee, even if he wouldn't be their choice in some idyllic scenario. Now, if it is a really close and competitive race, if Governor DeSantis gets in, as we expect, if they are sort of on even footing, then I think most of the Republican donor class would tend to lean toward DeSantis.
And we're expecting to see a mugshot of Mr. Trump released from this week. Do you believe that it will be a fundraising boon for Trump?
Probably, because he's already raised considerable amounts of money from this news of this indictment in and of itself. A mugshot, if it comes out, will ricochet around the world, not just the nation, instantly, because it is such a dramatic moment, such a historic moment. Now, we have to see how much substance is behind these charges. This is, or could be, a rather thin reed on which to hang such a heavy historical moment as charging a former president of the United States. But we'll see. And your previous guest made the important point that we'll have to see what the indictment actually contains.
Certainly. And so far, President Biden's silent about this indictment. Do you think he is also waiting until Tuesday to potentially weigh in on this?
I think he'll probably be reluctant to weigh in on it even on Tuesday. There is no real political dividend for President Biden to get very involved in this. I think you're seeing, not just from the president, but from Democrats generally, a statement or statements to suggest that the process should be let play out. They don't want to give Republicans more ammunition for Republicans to accuse the Democrats of politicizing the justice system. So in that respect, I think even on Tuesday, President Biden's not going to say anything very direct or very controversial about this case.
All right. Appreciate the context. Niall Stanage, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.